Kirk Frost and Ems Harris, two of the most talked about names in love and hip hop history, just got the boot from reality TV. That's right, after years of straight up chaos, betrayals, and jaw dropping moments, their time in the limelight has come to a sudden and shocking end. But what's the real tea? What really went down that made producers pull the plug like this? Word on the street is it all popped off with a wild backstage blowout. So heated, so out of control, even security couldn't keep a lid on it. Cameras were rolling, tempers were exploding, and before anybody could step in, fists were flying. And now, after holding it down as reality TV's most infamous duo, Kirk and Ems might really be done for good. No more cameras, no more confessionals, just a harsh reality check they never saw coming. But wait, this ain't just about one fight. Nah, there's way more to the story than what's being reported. Was this really just about a scuffle, or was something much bigger brewing behind the scenes? We're talking betrayals, backdoor deals, and jaw-dropping secrets. This scandal cuts way deeper than folks realize. Stay locked in because we're about to break it all the way down. Nobody saw this coming, not like this. The tension between Kirk Frost and Ems Harris had been bubbling under the surface for weeks, but nobody thought it would erupt into full-blown chaos. What started as light shade turned into an all-out career-ending showdown, one that sent shockwaves through the love and hip-hop world. It all went down behind closed doors at a private after-show taping, where cast members were supposed to hash out their issues before the big reunion. No cameras, no pressure, just a chance to settle the drama. At least that's what they thought. But when you mix egos, old grudges, and reality stars who live for the mess, it's only a matter of time before things spiral out of control. And that night, oh, it did. Kirk and Ems were never tight, but there was always a level of respect. Until recently, word started getting around that Ems had been running his mouth, calling Kirk a washed-up has-been who only stayed relevant because of Rashida's grind. At first, Kirk brushed it off. Love and hip-hop ran on drama, and folks running their mouths was nothing new. But when multiple people started coming to him saying Ems took it even further, Kirk couldn't ignore it anymore. The whispers turned into straight-up allegations. Word was Ems had been telling producers Kirk was out here faking beef just to stay relevant. Said he was dead weight, bringing nothing to the show but old scandals and played-out drama. For Kirk, that cut deep. Oh, so I'm the one holding the show back. Kirk was venting to cast members before things went left. This man barely just got out of prison, and now he thinks he is running things. This wasn't just ego. This was about respect, and Kirk wasn't about to let somebody like Ems come for his legacy. Insiders say Kirk pulled Ems aside before the reunion taping, trying to handle it man to man, but Ems, oh, he wasn't backing down one bit. If you worried about what I'm saying, maybe you should fix what's broken, Ems allegedly told him, voice dripping with arrogance. Kirk's face twisted, his jaw locked, and that was all it took. A heated argument turned into a full-blown shouting match, with cast members and producers standing there stunned. You are a guest on this show. I built this before you even got here, Kirk snapped, jabbing a finger at Ems. And Ems, he just laughed. A slow, smug laugh that sent Kirk over the edge. Before security could even move, Kirk shoved Ems hard, knocking him back into a chair. And that was the moment all hell broke loose. Ems shot up, grabbed Kirk by his shirt, and in seconds, fists were flying, chairs went crashing, glasses shattered, cast members screamed, security rushed in, scrambling to pull them apart, but both men were gone. Yandy Smith was yelling at Ems to stop, while Rashida was doing everything she could to drag Kirk back, but it was too late. The damage was done, and the worst part, Every second of it was caught on camera. Somebody in that room had their phone out the second things started heating up, and the moment Kirk and Ems threw hands, that footage was already moving at warp speed across social media. Within minutes, clips were everywhere. Fans were shook, the comment section a mess, and behind the scenes, love and hip-hop producers were in full panic mode. This wasn't just a regular reality TV drama. One producer reportedly said, "This is career-ending." The fight was so intense, so out of control that the whole production had to be shut down on the spot. Kirk was dragged into one room, still fuming. Ems was locked in another, face tight with rage, and behind closed doors, the execs were already making a call that nobody saw coming. Because, yeah, fights happened in reality TV. Love and Hip Hop was built on messy confrontations, a little pushing and shoving. That's nothing new. But this was different. This was dangerous, too raw, too real. And before the night even ended, an emergency meeting was called. The verdict: Kirk Frost and Ems Harris were about to face the biggest punishment of their career. And this time, there was no coming back. The fallout was instant and brutal. Within hours, the Love and Hip Hop team was in crisis mode. And it wasn't just about busted up furniture and bruised egos. The network execs weren't just mad, they were livid. Fights had happened before. Sure, Love and Hip Hop lived for drama, and a little hands-on action was expected. But this was something else. Two OG cast members going at it in a way that could have led to real injuries. And the worst part, it had all been leaked. The video was everywhere. Fans had already picked apart every second, replaying Kirk's shove, Ems' lunge, the sound of glass shattering in the background, and the internet's reaction, explosive. Social media was on fire. Never thought I'd see the day Kirk and Ems threw hands like that. Love and Hip Hop will never be the same. This fight was wild. Ems straight up snapped, "If Kirk and Ems get kicked off over this, I'm done watching." Fans were split. Some were riding with Kirk, saying Ems had no right coming for a Love and Hip Hop OG. Others were Team Ems, arguing that Kirk had no business putting hands on somebody first. But one thing everybody agreed on: this was one of the biggest scandals in the franchise's history. And the execs, they weren't just stressing over the fan reactions, they were worried about their entire reputation. This fight had crossed the line. It wasn't something they could just edit into good TV. Now, there were legal concerns, sponsors were side-eyeing, and if they let Kirk and Ems stay after this, it would send the wrong message. That's when the decision was made. By the next morning, both Kirk and Ems got the call. They were officially fired from Love and Hip Hop. No warning, no second chances, just gone. Kirk was stunned. "This ain't real," he reportedly told Rashida, pacing back and forth in their Atlanta home. "They ain't never done nothing like this before. They need me. I've been here since day one." But Rashida, she already knew what it was. She saw this coming. "Kirk, you put your hands on Ems," she told him, and it got out. They had no choice. Kirk wasn't trying to hear that. In his mind, he wasn't just another cast member. He was Love and Hip Hop royalty. Over a decade on the show, building his brand, stacking his money, making moves, and now they were tossing him aside like he was nothing. But Ems, he had his own problems. When he got the call, he was chilling in his living room with Yandy. The second he heard the words, "We're letting you go," his whole body tensed. Nah, that's not happening," he said, shaking his head. "I bring way too much to this show. They can't do it without me." But Yandy, she wasn't about to let this slide. That's it. She lost it and grabbed her phone. "They really gonna throw you out after all this," she said. "After we brought storylines to this show." She wasn't wrong. Yandy and Ems had carried the show for multiple seasons. Their relationship, his legal struggles, their family issues, that had been pure reality TV gold. But none of that mattered now. "I told you not to let him get to you," Yandy muttered, rubbing her temples. "And now, look, we're done." The phone calls kept flooding in. Blogs started running with the story. Other cast members jumped in with their 2 cents, and before long, it wasn't just about the fight anymore. New rumors started popping up. Was Kirk Frost and Ems Harris's time up in the reality TV world? Insiders were saying that multiple networks were starting to back off. Some execs were feeling like they were too much of a risk. With how fast everything was spiraling, no one wanted to take that chance. One producer even told a source, "We can't have another situation like this. If Kirk and Ems can't keep it together, how can we trust them on another show?" On it was like the domino effect. Sponsorship deals were put on hold, potential spin-offs were scrapped. Their whole reality TV careers were hanging by a thread. But Kirk and Ems weren't just going to roll over. Ems hit up his legal team. He wanted to know if he could fight the decision, sue for wrongful termination, or at least get some kind of payout. Kirk, he was thinking bigger. "If they think I'm just going to disappear, they got another thing coming." Kirk reportedly told a friend, "I built my name. I don't need love and hip-hop. I'll make my own moves," and just like that, the war wasn't just between them anymore. It was them versus the whole love and hip-hop empire. But could they really bounce back after all this? Or was this the end of Kirk and Ems's reality TV careers for good? The aftermath of their firing shook up the entertainment world. Both men weren't just reality TV stars, they were icons in the game, deeply embedded in the fabric of love and hip-hop. The show had made them household names. Now they were being shown the door, but neither Kirk nor Ems was ready to just fade away quietly. They weren't about to let themselves be erased from reality TV history. Kirk, always the businessman, got to work quickly. He knew how powerful public opinion was. If he was going to save his career, he had to take control of the narrative. Instead of falling back, Kirk made sure the world heard his side. Just days after being fired, he sat down for an exclusive interview with a major blog, telling his side of the story. He looked right into the camera and started, "Listen, what happened between me and Ems? Yeah, it was ugly. But at the end of the day, I was protecting my honor. You can't come at me like that, especially not on my own turf. I've been with love and hip-hop since day one. I put in the work, and for them to just drop me like that, that's foul." Kirk wasn't just mad about the fight. He felt betrayed by the very show he helped build. A show that showed his ups and downs, his family drama, his business moves, and now one bad moment had them erasing it all. But Kirk wasn't about to let that be the end of his story. "I'm not done," he told his fans. "They might have shut the door on me, but trust, it got plenty more doors to open." Meanwhile, Ems was dealing with his own situation. Getting fired from love and hip-hop hit him hard, but he wasn't about to just lay down like Kirk. Ems knew that controlling the story was key, but he had his own way of handling it. Instead of dwelling on the fight, Ems took his platform to talk about his journey. "I've been through a lot," he said, in an emotional Instagram live session. "From my legal battles to being away from my family, I've always faced challenges head-on. This question mark, this is just another obstacle, but I'll tell you this, I don't regret standing up for myself. I've always stood for respect, and I won't let anyone disrespect me on or off camera." Of course, Yandy was right there by his side, her face a mask of controlled rage. She was mad, no doubt, furious even, but she knew how the game worked. She'd been on reality TV long enough to know that sometimes you have to take the hits and come back even stronger. "Trust me, y'all haven't seen the last of Ems," she told their followers during the live session. "He's been through worse than this, and we always come out on top." But behind closed doors, Ems wasn't as confident. Getting cut from Love and Hip Hop was more than just a hit to his career. It felt personal. He'd put years into the show, opened up about his life, his struggles, his family, and now, with one mistake, it felt like all of it was being taken away. Man, I don't know if we're gonna bounce back from this, Ems admitted to Yandy one night, the weight of everything finally sinking in. This is our bread and butter. Without Love and Hip Hop, what's left? Yandy wasn't one to sit around feeling sorry for herself. She was already plotting their next move. We'll make something happen, she told him, reassuring him. We've got our own brand now. The fans love us, not just the show. We'll figure it out. But the real punch to the gut came when word started getting out that not only had Kirk and Ems been fired, they were being blacklisted from reality TV altogether. It began with whispers, rumors spreading through entertainment circles that no other reality show wanted anything to do with them. At first, it seemed like just talking, but as the days passed, the rumors grew. Sources from multiple networks confirmed that Kirk and Ems were now seen as too much of a risk to cast. It's not just about the fight, one insider said. Reality TV thrives on drama, but this went too far. Nobody wants to deal with the risk of legal fallout or the chance that they might lose control again. For Kirk, this news hit harder than a punch to the gut. Getting fired from Love and Hip Hop was tough enough, but being blacklisted, that felt like a career death sentence. Without reality TV, Kirk's brand would lose its shine, his visibility would drop, and with that, his influence and money would dry up. I ain't about to be no has-been, Kirk told Rashida one night, frustration heavy in his voice. They think they can just blackball me. Nah, I built too much to let it all go down the drain. Go Rashida, always the calm in Kirk's storm, tried to reassure him. We'll figure something out, babe. You've got too much hustle in you to let this be the end. But Kirk wasn't buying it. He knew the reality. Without TV, staying relevant would be an uphill climb. He was a businessman, sure, but his name and face were the ones that kept everything going. Without that exposure, everything he built could fall apart. On the other side of the country, Ems was feeling the pressure too. His phone had gone eerily quiet. Opportunities that used to come at him left and right were now drying up. Brands weren't hitting him up. His social media engagement was plummeting. It was like the fallout from the fight had caused a full industry-wide freeze-out. We need to do something fast, Ems told Yandy, frustration clear in his voice. I'm not about to be blacklisted. This ain't how my story ends. Yandy, always the strategist, already had a plan. We'll create our own opportunities, she said, confident in her tone. If they don't want us on their shows, we'll make our own. We don't need them. We've got the fan base. We've got the following. Let's do this ourselves. But even with their bold words, both Kirk and Ems knew they were in for a fight. Being blacklisted wasn't a small thing in reality TV. It wasn't just about not getting cast on a few shows. It was about being shut out from the entire industry. As the days turned into weeks, the weight of it all got heavier. They had built their lives around the fame and fortune reality TV brought. Now they were facing the very real possibility that it could all come crashing down. Could they really bounce back? Or had the fight between them marked the end of their reign in reality TV? The silence that followed was deafening. If we ain't on TV, do people even care? Yandy's confidence was unshakable. They'll care 'cause we make them care. All we got to do is give them something they can't turn away from. Meanwhile, the fallout from the blacklist was spreading fast. Fans were heated. Social media was buzzing with debates about whether Kirk and Ems deserved to be blacklisted or if they were getting a raw deal. They built Love and Hip Hop, one fan tweeted. Now they're being tossed aside like they never mattered. That ain't right. But not everyone was feeling so sympathetic. They knew what they were doing, another user said. This ain't your average drama. They fought on set. What else did they think would happen? The backlash wasn't just online. Former castmates, reality TV vets, even producers were weighing in. Stevie J, another Love and Hip Hop alum, was clear about where he stood. Man, I've been in this game for years, and let me tell you, there's a line you don't cross. Kirk and Ems, they crossed it. But not everyone agreed. They want us to act like fools on TV, a former castmate said in a podcast interview. That's what brings in the views. But the second it gets too real, suddenly we're too much. Nah, that's some nonsense. Even with all the noise, the network wasn't budging. Kirk and Ems were out. No second chances. That's when Kirk decided he wasn't going out like that. He was ready for a legal fight. He'd been in the game long enough to know his rights. If they wanted to blacklist him, cool, but they owed him. This ain't just about a fight, KK told his lawyer. It's about my legacy. They used me for years. They made bank off my name. Now they're trying to erase me. Nah, they owe me. The legal battle wasn't just about Kirk's contract. He wanted his due. He wanted compensation for the years he had put in, for the reputation he had built, only to be tossed away like nothing. Ems, though, was torn. He wasn't the type to sue. He'd been through the system before, and he wasn't trying to go down that road again. But he also knew Kirk wasn't wrong. They gave this show everything, and now they were just getting tossed aside like nothing. As soon as the lawsuit hit the public, the whole industry went up. This is a game changer, one media insider said. If Kirk wins, this could rewrite the whole playbook for reality stars. This is about power, about control. These networks own their talent, but Kirk, he is fighting back. But the lawsuit came with a price. Now, Kirk and Ems weren't just blacklisted. They were radioactive. No network, no brand, no company wanted to touch them while this case was still open. Rashida tried to talk some sense into Kirk. Babe, maybe we should just let it go, focus on our businesses, move forward. But Kirk wasn't hearing it. I'm not letting them win, Rashida. I'm fighting this till the very end. Yandy, though, she was looking at the bigger picture. She knew Ems wasn't trying to get caught up in lawsuits and legal drama, so she made a power move, a reality TV comeback on their terms. She hit up producers, called in some favors, and just like that, the wheels started turning. A new show, independent, unfiltered, raw. Kirk and Ems might have been locked out of Love and Hip Hop, but that didn't mean they were out of the game. The real question now, would the fans still ride for them? Or was this really the end of the road? One thing's for sure, the drama ain't done, and y'all already know this story is far from over. Kirk Frost and Ems Harris might be blacklisted, but will they really stay gone? Will Kirk's lawsuit flip the reality TV industry on its head? And can Yandy's bold move put them back in the spotlight on their own terms? Fans are split. The industry is watching, and one thing's clear. This scandal, it's just getting started. What y'all think? Should Kirk and Ems get another shot, or did they take it too far? And will this independent comeback really pop off?